The countdown is on to Monday, 1 o'clock Calgary time. That's when the NHL trade deadline will come and go. Here in Canada, including Calgary, the vast majority of the NHL teams are sellers this year. Now, to break down what the Flames may do is NHL on Sportsnet host Daren Millard. Daren will be quarterbacking Monday's trade deadline coverage. Sometimes, though, Daren, I've seen you're more like a referee when you guys all get together talking about these things.
It happens every now and then where the guys get a little feisty. You know what I've learned over the course of my career is that it's easier just to sit back, let them fight, and fill time that way than try to get them back on course and try to come up with different things to fill. So if they break out in a spirited debate, go at it.
All right, good stuff. Now, there's been a lot of debate regarding which Calgary Flames players may be on the kind of movement block, so to speak. And the first is Jiri Hudler. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's significant value in Jiri Hudler and what he's been able to do with the Detroit Red Wings previously, and the way he was able to come in and really fit in and produce and live up to the value of his contract with the Calgary Flames. If you want some scoring, if you want a top six forward, somebody that can produce in tough situations, you've seen that in the track record of Jiri Hudler. So I think on the heels of the Andrew Ladd trade last night, Jiri Hudler's value certainly did not go down, and I think the Calgary Flames have a significant piece there if they decide that they want to move him come Monday. I really believe that the Calgary Flames are dealing with from a position of strength. It's not where they wanted to be right now, but the different assets and the various assets that they have in positions and skill level can bring back Brad Treliving some real nice pieces to move forward with that franchise.
Another big piece of that puzzle that I think you're getting at here is Chris Russell, because the Flames have they have a lot of good defensemen who can move the puck. Do you think Chris is someone that a lot of teams might be looking at?
Absolutely, including the Calgary Flames. They don't want to move Chris Russell. They really value him as a player and his versatility and as a teammate. So they would love to be able to keep him. But the Dennis Wideman suspension has really complicated things there. They were on the path towards trading Dennis Wideman, and that obviously can't occur because of the situation that he's in. So I think Chris Russell is a player that a lot of teams covet, that a player that can play in your top four, not just adding depth on your blue line for a championship run. He blocks shots, he's gritty, he does everything you want in a defenseman, especially in the trenches of a Stanley Cup playoff run. And yeah, he might be the piece that brings the Calgary Flames the most. If you're going to shoot for the stars, Ted, and I know you're a real space guy, right? Yeah. You love looking out there into the universe. If you want to really shoot for the stars, I think Jiri Hudler and Chris Russell are two players that can really change the direction of a franchise on trade deadline day for the Calgary Flames.
Okay. And you already talked about Andrew Ladd. I want to pick your brain on this because he's a former Calgary Hitman, so a lot of people in our city kind of follow Andrew and what he's up to. He's now back on the Chicago Blackhawks. He must be happy about this.
Well, I don't think you can go write a better script for Andrew Ladd, a 2010 champion with the Chicago Blackhawks, a great leader. You saw that in his captaincy of the Winnipeg Jets version 2.0, and going back to Chicago where they still have that core. There's a lot of turnover over the years, but still that core. And Andrew Ladd is going to slot right in with Jonathan Toews and Marian Hossa, and that's made the Chicago Blackhawks the favorite in the Western Conference. They've distanced themselves, and you're going to see a reaction out of the fellow contenders in the Western Conference and what they can do. Do they just stand pat and give it to Chicago, or do they make some kind of reactionary move? And I think that's where you see the real benefit in the Calgary Flames and Brad Treliving, is what the Chicago Blackhawks were able to do last night to see what the reaction is to the contenders and how much of a move they want to make with Brad Treliving.
All right, well, get some sleep, my friend. You guys are going to be busy on Monday. 11 hours of coverage on Sportsnet starting at 6 a.m. Calgary time. For more information on Daren and the guys on Sportsnet, breakfasttelevision.ca. Thanks, my friend. Get some rest.
Go grab some eggs.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. Good stuff. Thanks, Daren. Straight ahead on Breakfast Television this morning, just after 7:13. It's cooling down a little bit, but we're going to hit